Why
We're
not?
going to create an avatar that looks and moves like me. We begin by smiling into the camera. I love to smile. Smiling's my favorite. And breathing gently for a short second. Is this what breathing looks like? I'm Joanna Stern, and I'm excited to host this video. No, I am the real Joanna. Okay, so I cloned myself, kinda. Howdy. Why? Well, the latest AI tools that generate text and images already make it hard to tell the difference between what's real and what's fake. What's coming next with AI generated voice and video is going to blur the lines even more. So I came up with a challenge. Can I replace myself with AI for the day? Yes, I came up with 4 challenges to see if AI me could sub in for real me. So real me had more time for me things. Or at least that's how I wanted it to go.
It's a little creeped out that I'm looking at photos of Joanna.
Okay, let's do this. Before we get into the challenges, let's talk about my AI avatar, which was made by a startup called Synthesia. I want to make my avatar. At a professional studio in New York, the company recorded me doing a series of head movements. I feel like I'm at the eye doctor. Okay, and reading through a rather odd pre-written script. Positive thinking will help you believe in yourself and fill you with self-esteem and confidence. After that, I headed to an audio studio where I recorded another script for about an hour. My name is Joanna Stern, and I hereby consent to this audio recording to create a custom voice. The company took that all and used it as training data and ran it through their AI neural networks. Hello, Joanna. You don't mind if I call you Joanna, do you? Okay, so the voice isn't the best. A tool called 11 Labs produced something better after my producer Kenny uploaded 2 hours of my previous recordings. I am the real Joanna. I am the real Joanna. I am the real Joanna. Both Synthesia and 11 Labs work similarly. Type in anything and AI Joanna just says it right back. Synthesia is aimed at companies that want to make internal videos. It charges at least $1,000 to create a custom avatar. Creating a voice clone with 11 Labs is $5 a month. Challenge 1, phone calls. I happened to have a call scheduled that day with Evan Spiegel, the CEO of Snap. The company recently released My AI, a chatbot within the popular app.
Hey, Evan, it's Joanna. Do you worry that if we chat with AI all day, we'll stop talking to our real friends?
Definitely not what we've been seeing. I think that's one of the real benefits of our sort of testing and learning approach here. So far, I think if anything, it's going to become a conversation enhancement and improve the way that people communicate with their friends and family.
Did you think by any chance that my question to you was generated by an AI voice?
No. I mean the first word or two was a little bit of a giveaway, but I thought maybe you were extra serious today.
Even my own sister was pretty fooled when I called her about her dead fish.
Hello.
Hey, Jules, I just heard about Swimmy Dimmy and I wanted to let you know how sorry I am for your loss. Did you think it was me?
At first, yes, and then no. Like it sounds obviously exactly like you, but just with the fact that like it doesn't pause for talking back.
Challenge 1, have. Challenge 2, create a TikTok. I asked ChatGPT to write a TikTok script in the voice of Joanna Stern about an obscure iOS 16 tip. The hardest thing was getting ChatGPT to write the truth. It just made stuff up. Finally, I got a good one. Although the writing certainly was not very me. I pasted the script into Synthesia, put a green screen behind my avatar, and exported it. While the WSJ TikTok team edited, I was pretty impressed with the final TikTok. TikTok fam, it's Joanna Stern, your iOS wizard. Today, we're unearthing the hidden world of back tap gestures. I love that I did not have to shoot this. I did not have to put on nice clothes, do my hair, do my makeup, say these lines. But TikTok was less impressed. They picked up on the fact that the avatar never moves its arms, that the mouth movements don't always match the audio, and that there's little facial expression. Synthesia has already started to improve a lot of this in beta versions of its avatars.
Look, I can nod my head.
Challenge 2, fail. Challenge 3, bank biometrics. Instead of asking security questions, some banks use your voice to confirm it's you before transferring you to a customer service rep.
This call will be monitored and recorded, and your voice may be used for verification. Please speak your first and last name, followed by your mailing address.
Joanna Stern.
This is Nikki with Chase Credit Card Services.
It worked. Chase confirmed the voice and put me straight through to a service rep. No additional questions asked. Later in the day, I asked our intern Slav to try to do his best impression of me to see what would happen.
Speak your first and last name, followed by your mailing address.
Joanna Stern.
Please enter the last 3 digits printed on the signature panel on the back of your card.
See, in Slav's case, the voice biometric system didn't buy it. It asked for further verification. When I reached out to Chase's spokeswoman said, "We use voice biometrics along with a variety of other methods to authenticate customers who call us." She added that to complete requests, customers must provide additional information. Challenge 3, pass. Challenge 4, video calls. I asked ChatGPT to generate some generic meeting phrases and exported videos of my avatar saying them. Then I installed some software on my Mac to pump that video into my Google Meet calls.
That sounds good. Oh, you're muted, Joanna.
Is this the real Joanna? Yeah, this looks like a fake.
That sounds good.
She looks, yeah, what is happening
Hey,
here?
everyone. How did you know that it wasn't me?
It looks like a hologram version of you.
It is the posture for me.
Okay,
I didn't make any jokes.
challenge 4, big fail. So, what did we learn today? We learned that video clones aren't going to fool anyone yet, but AI voices are quite good. We also learned that while you could use these to save time, people could also misuse them. Do I want to avoid going to the studio some days? Yep. Do I fear scammers using our voices to call banks or our families? Yep. Synthesia says it requires those creating avatars to give verbal consent. 11 Labs requires you check a box saying you have permission to use the voice. And the company says it's capable of identifying its voices if they are misused. Either way, it means we're all going to have to be on high alert to tell the real versus the AI. And finally, stay human, everyone. Good luck.
Okay, I think that was pretty interesting to see how AI is really taking the world. I mean, look, Synthesia there, and some of the areas of Synthesia software is under development, but some others, as you can see, are very, very well developed as far as like getting into the authentication for a bank and all that kind of stuff. That's pretty scary. It's been other instances in which they're using for fraud. People calling, posting as your mom or your sister, saying they're in trouble, they need some wire money, and people actually buy it. So this is one of the things that can like be a availability for everybody when it comes to AI and technologies. However, you see the misconception of TikTok being full of, AIs and things like that. We can see they actually have a pretty strong system which doesn't really allow people to kind of like fake those videos. So I think they're on trend doing what they're supposed to be doing. Other things that I can agree to that is we have been talking about job displacement, which it's a topic that could be good or bad. And I say that because look at this, 100 years ago, Wells Fargo was taking money coast to coast using horses. Now we send money electronically in seconds, sometimes in minutes. Maybe it's a wire transfer the next day, but you get the point. Some technology is here to stay, and it's gonna evolve. And with evolved technologies comes some risks. When we start driving cars here in the States, it was a lot of accidents, there were a lot of things that had to be improved. That doesn't necessarily mean that we had to say just no. I feel like it's an opportunity to evaluate and see, is it really gonna take out the war? I feel it will have some risks, especially when it comes to the availability to distinguish between a human and an AI, which we can see by what you exposed in the video. They can be, the human part can be easily detected. The feeling that the human touch can be easily detected. It's been some instance, we were talking the other day in one of the meetings, indeed we had a presentation about that. There was this kid talking with character AI, he thought the whole thing was so real that he committed suicide, and the AI didn't do any prevention on it. So why? Because that human part was missing. The metaverse, which is the VR technology, I use that a lot. I'm a big fan on the VRs. And the metaverse, it has the horizons wars. When you go and interact with other people, it goes by age and all this stuff. And right now, Meta is spending a lot of money to have actual humans supervising each ward to be sure that everything is safe, especially for kids, or that kids are not accessing areas that are all for adults. But that's kind of like the thing that we are looking at. I mean, remember when the internet came out, it was a lot of fraud, it was a lot of dangers, and little by little they will address, because it's just you creating another different world. As we can see, it's some availabilities for AI, especially when it comes to displacing humans. Job displacements could be one of those, in which we find companies they put in millions of dollars, and that's what was my question. If it's not bad, right, they put in millions of dollars. I see improvement on warehouses. Michael checked warehouse, a warehouse that was totally automized to AI. So it was clearly replaced 20,000 workers just because the AI system create an environment and a strategy that can run the whole entire warehouse with very little to no human interaction and human talent. So this is the time where we are in a transition, like with the revolution industry in England, when they start displacing the worker factories, and look at here we are, here we stay. So I'll say that is one of the biggest trends. One of the biggest threats is the how it's gonna be the placement on that technology. At this point, there's no way back, and people don't understand. But from the information technology standpoint, we've been using this for years, like HChat boots and all that kind of technology. We've been using them for years. Now, the learning ability the AI brings, that's what is kind of like being developed in a very crazy way since COVID, because actually COVID helped to jump the technology gap 10 years. Like that's how much we advanced during COVID around AI technologies, 10 years. So we went to the future. It's like we did a travel time to the future 10 years. And so now it's that one we need to stop. And now I'm gonna pass it to Michael, and Michael is gonna be the one who's gonna bring that positive impact and how AI is changing our lives.
Yep. Thank you, Mark. Really great. So yeah, my name is Michael Salemi, and I'm a grad student at Tarleton and part of this group. I have an undergraduate degree of computer science from 30 years ago or so. So I have some perspective, and absolutely right.
This would be worth your time. So click that link and we'll
I
see.
remember growing up in the 90s and being told, don't talk to strangers. Don't open the door to strangers. Well, in the 2000s, 2010, 2020, social media, everybody talks to strangers. Everybody gets in cars with strangers with Uber and rideshare and such, and opens the doors for food delivery to strangers. So it's different. And so, yeah, it is concerning about what artificial intelligence can do to mimic other people and mimic voices and such. And that is concerning. And I think just obviously being careful is the right way to go. So I want to talk though about what artificial intelligence is changing in terms of the industry and jobs and such. And so there's a lot of articles out there that will share what are the jobs that are most likely to be replaced in the next 5 years. And so I felt that this was an interesting list. Data entry clerks, things that could be automated or repetitive. Those are going to be automated, and they'll be replaced with automated folks. So, I have a perspective. I saw ATMs be introduced. I saw automatic cashiers be introduced. I've seen a lot of displacement of jobs through automation. I feel, though, that things are going to go a little bit faster with artificial intelligence. Receptionists, bank tellers, travel agents, the types of jobs that are being displaced are things that probably people don't really want to really do, right? Warehouse workers, inventory managers, customer service representatives, and such. And so there are a bunch of things, though, that I think that are being created because of the new technologies and not just technical folks. So not just people with me with a technical background, right? They're going to need trainers, people that are education specialists, people that know how to do data science, right? So people with business degrees that can understand those things. Obviously, there will be some folks who in jobs for engineers, robotics, who can design those things, vision engineers, language processing, but they'll need to be also product marketers, product managers, people with marketing degrees, people with people with graphic design to design the new interfaces, to design the ability to use and deploy these so that they're helpful. Content writers, people will need to create the instructions for how to use the tools and technology. The artificial intelligence we have today learns from what's already written. If we're going to create new instructions for new capabilities, the artificial intelligence doesn't know how those will even work yet because they're not invented yet, right? So we're going to need marketing specialists, folks to engage personally with people and such. So I think there's dozens of new opportunities for people around the artificial intelligence space that I think personally are interesting, and more interesting types of jobs than some of those that are being displaced. So I see it as a good shift personally. And in addition to that, right, some people might say, oh, okay, who's gonna teach these people how to do those things? Well, there are organizations out there. Mark has a point. Yeah, there's money being put into educating, developing, getting corporations to buy the capabilities and such. So the places like AWS, Google, even some universities, IBM, where I work at, Salesforce, as well as Intel and other companies, are giving away training, certification, because the workforce is going to need to pick up some new skill and reskill to be able to do some of those types of jobs. And they're available for free. So let's just take a look at a few of them. So at a place called ed.x, you can go in and you can look at free courses. You can see here, there's dozens of them, no charge to it. If you're interested, if there's things that look interesting, you want to learn some of them, there's things that do have a cost associated. However, your ability to learn is only limited by how motivated you are to find and learn some of these things. Now, there's things, like I said, from IBM, other places. This is a tool that I think is quite interesting, right? So I have a couple children, they're in college now. However, the free learning at Khan Academy is something that has been real helpful for me and my family. They now are giving away a free artificial intelligence tutor for teachers, that teachers can, if you know teachers, tell them to go get the free tool. It'll create a lesson plan. It'll do some things for them. It'll help. It'll do a lot that's going to help. And then if you're a learner, you can get the artificial intelligence tool. I think it's a nominal fee, like $4 a month and stuff. So I just want to point out some of those things. I think that, yeah, there is some transition going on and such. However, I think there's a lot of reason to be hopeful. I've seen a lot of technology changes happen. It's not always positive. There's some things that aren't going to be good. So just watch out for those fake people and fake voices. They're out there. I get calls from them. I just hang up on them. All right. So that's what I think. So thanks for setting some time aside to hear some of this stuff. And I look forward to seeing you on Facebook. Feel free to ask any questions. I'd be happy to help you out when I can, anytime. Thanks.
So thank you so much, Mark and Michael. Oh my goodness. I'm excited. This is the first day of our FAST course, and we've already had access to so much amazing information. So in the chat, please just reflect on one thing that that was your aha moment today. Like, wow, I didn't know this was going on, or wow, I really need to look into this. So type your one word in the chat to basically, you can type one word or many, but to highlight exactly one thing that was your aha moment today. And while you're doing that, I think about, like with me, I'm an educator. And so how will AI affect my field? I know that things are being automated all the time. I mean, you can take a class with an AI bot and learn the same material, and they will grade the information. And so that's something to reflect on as well. But let's also provide an opportunity for our other, for our participants and our fellows to weigh in as well. And also, please feel free to unmute. and not everybody at once.
Well, first, I just wanted to say, Mike, Mark, thank you so much for sharing today. This was really great. And Mark, I guess thank you for sharing that video. Also, it does scare me a little bit as someone who is really interested in AI and continues to use AI daily and using new tools. It's exciting, but it's also still a little bit scary, and I'm still a little distrustful of using my own voice for things like that and using my own likeness. So that's on the edge, but at the same time, a lot of these things are going to make some things possible for people who didn't have access before. It's also going to allow us to engage in other opportunities that we weren't able to do before. For instance, like my schedule is really packed. I mean, I'm a grad student, I'm a fellow for this, I work a full-time job, I am getting ready to start teaching in the next semester or two after I get my master's degree. Yes, very exciting. So I'm prepping for my class. So all of these things, it makes me really busy, but being able to and create content, being able to use an AI system to help me with those things, it makes things go by so much faster. So I can definitely see the positive side. And I think we, cat, I think we just need to reframe our minds sometimes and like, how can this be positive?
Is the cat real?
The cat is real. I have 2 kittens who need homes if anyone is interested.
I also really appreciate knowing about these type of I really appreciate knowing about these type of things that are out there. Like I had no idea that you could voice generate. I didn't know anything about the, you know, how it can take your image and do that. Like I think it's really good for us to be aware of these type of things.
Absolutely. Yes.
I definitely, I definitely think it's kind of a little daunting, like Cole said, the idea of using our voices for something like this, like cloning and stuff like that. But I do wonder what will be on that 5 years from now. We'll probably normalize it, because right now we use our Face ID to open up our phones, and for my Mac computer to open it, I use my thumbprint. So, you know, it's kind of, we already given so much of our intimate, you know, bodily autonomy to these kinds of things now. And I'm sure at first we thought those things were kind of strange, but now we've kind of normalized them, you know? And so I think that's probably going to be one of those things where we normalize it then as well.
And it's not just.
I was going to say, oh, I'm sorry. I was going to say, I've heard advice where people say, hey, you know, those password reset questions, like where'd you go to high school? What was the first type of car and such? People are suggesting if you're interacting with a video online and or voice, your nephew calls you out of the blue or your cousin calls you out of the blue, just say, hey, cousin, what's your dog's name or something like that. And if they don't know, then hang up on them. And I'm like, wow, they're giving advice like that out to people. If you're having a conversation with a person and you suspect maybe they're a robot, ask a safe word question. Anyway, that's what I hear people are saying out there. So it is a freaky side effect or a part of artificial intelligence that's that easy to clone a personality. That's weird.
And there is Michael, to add on it, it's a company in Europe. They're buying the rights to use your face and your voice for life, for eternity. So
Yeah.
they can use them for the rest of your life. I mean, even after you pass away. But also these things in Tisha, they're working with the fast food companies. So
Wow.
imagine you going to McDonald's and placing an order with Michael Jackson, and he's just gonna get your order right there. That's
That'd be fun.
like things they're doing right now. So I really, you know, it's crazy, but at the same time, as Cole say, and you add, Michael, 5-10 years from now, they're probably gonna be very almost perfect. It's never perfect, but almost perfect. But people will find fun to like order from Michael Jackson or order from, you know, any other Queen, one of the, you know, Freddie Mercury or something like that. It would be really cool to see that kind of stuff. So it's out there. It's keep going. It's not gonna stop.
And I see that we have 2 people unmuted, Mr. Isbell and oh goodness, Lee, last name Lee. So please feel free to weigh in as well.
Hi. So I think I may be one of the only people around here on the Zoom, but I work for Hank FM in Fort Worth, and we got the media release. So I just thought it was really, really cool. This has affected our industry, especially the creative industry. The actors are just up in arms about this. I mean, we've been seeing it at Disneyland for as long as I can remember, different varieties of this. But, you know, on a personal note, this is really exciting, especially when they were touching on the availability of teaching. I have a son with a developmental disability, and he has Down syndrome. And one of the biggest issues right now is getting him in inclusive education. And even if I find people that are willing to accept him and take him out of the SPED room, the teachers are so intimidated by what to actually teach him. So on a personal note, this is phenomenal. On a professional note, it's a little bit terrifying knowing that, you know, we're all out. I mean, who knows what I'm pawning on the internet right now, but yeah, so thank you. We appreciate you putting all this together.
And thank you for attending. This is amazing. And thank you for weighing in about the professional industry, especially for artists. This is going to be a game changer, potentially in a positive and negative way. So we'll see. Mr. Isbell?
So I am 62 and I love technology, and I've been on the front edge of this. I carry a little, this is a little R1 Rabbit I carry around. It's my little AI assistant. I'm a constant learner. I'm just digging AI to the max. What I struggle with is I think there needs to be more classes on prompting data, how to prompt the data and the sources, and then going back and verifying, because those are the two things that I spend most of my time doing, is contemplating the prompts that I need to get the information out, and then making sure that it's accurate. But I love it. Thank you.
We're so glad that you're here, and I'm excited. I wrote the rabbit down so I can Google exactly what that is. So I'm excited to dig into that. But then also, I'm doing the, oh my goodness, I'm adding that to our list, guys. But I'm going to start to dig into some articles, especially for prompt generation, and also our team will do that as well. We've been chatting about it for the past, few weeks, and so we want to make sure that we're providing everyone with things that they need. And so we'll put some articles, and also we'll perhaps make a recipe book for prompt generation as well. So that is awesome. Thank you. And last name Lyles. I just wanted to see if you wanted to unmute.
I do, and thank you for giving me that opportunity. My concern as a teacher is obviously being able to detect what students are submitting that is AI generated. And it used to be we had this thing called Turnitin that would at least give us links back to where students obtain the information they were submitting, and we could track it back, and then we could call the students out and say, hey, you're not learning correctly, this is cheating, this is blah, 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 blah. Now, of course, even when we have online discussions or we have all this other, I find I'm just consistently grading AI answers, which is not only demoralizing, it is cheating on its basics, right? And our students are not learning the abilities to analyze and doing all these things that we spend a lot of time trying to teach and enforce the general need for that kind of learning. So my biggest concern with AI, and I recognize the fantastic abilities of it. I talk to Siri all day long, even though she doesn't understand me half the time. I recognize the abilities that comes with AI. I feel like we need to catch up with being able to check what is and what isn't, especially from the teaching perspective. Thank you.
Oh goodness, that's another fast course in itself, like how to do that. And also we'll provide some questions during the scope of the week so we can share resources and tips and even tricks on how to address that in the classroom. That is awesome. And also we had Jenkins, Davis, and Cortez. And Wang, I wanted to make sure that everyone had an opportunity to weigh in. And also Roberts. How could I forget about Roberts? Any one of the folks I just mentioned, please feel free to weigh in.
Hello, my name is Stephanie, and I work for a healthcare network. And my job is to look for functional equivalence and health and safety on medical products before they're used in our facility. And I have used it a few times to help make sure that the functional equivalents that I'm finding from other places are actual functional equivalents. So it's come in handy at my job.
Such an important problem / concern to address, especially with artificial intelligence. That is amazing. And I'm glad that we're glad that you're here as well.
Oh, thank you.
Wayne, Roberts, Cortez. Going once, going twice.
I think another, sorry. I think another important thing is the voice cloning. I've seen like on TikTok where there's this like app or something, and people call like restaurants and stuff and pretend to be celebrities, and this like AI voice, it just it sounds like you're literally having like a conversation with this person. Like I heard like Nicki Minaj's voice and it sounds exactly like, and you don't even need to create like a script. Like if they're talking on their end, it just automatically comes up with a reply. So I think it's kind of scary to think about like the identity theft and the fraud and then the privacy aspect as well. And I think it could raise like a lot of like security like concerns if you need to have like your like if someone needs like your voice, you know, to recognize you or something, like when you're talking on the phone. So yeah.
We see the themes of security and the level of comfort like going throughout this conversation. So I'm excited, and I know that we're almost to the 1 p.m. mark, but I'm excited that everyone joined in, and I just wanted to do a 5-second pause, maybe less, to see if anyone else wanted to weigh in who has not had the chance to weigh in yet. And not that everyone has, but has to do so. All right. All right. Well, thank you guys so much. I did want to make sure that everyone was a part of the Facebook group, because we will share resources throughout the week in that Facebook group. And that Facebook group will have live after this fast course. And also each day you will get, I think it's 3 p.m. Cole, Mark, Michael, Alba. I think it's the
Yes,
and also
3 p.m.
Perfect. 3 p.m. you will get a discussion question that's focused on today's topic, which is, will AI take over the world? And so please weigh in on that. And that is step 1 to completing your short course, and so, or your fast course. And so I'm excited about you guys completing. You're 25% done at the end of today. So great job, and we will see you on the group. And if you have any questions, please reach out to me. You can just reply back to that Zoom link that went out earlier today. Have a good day, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.